cause I slay, I slay, I slay, I slay, all day, I slay, I slay, I slay, we gon' slay, gon' slay.
Okay guys, so before I started cooking, I made sure I set the oven to 350 degrees.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make lasagna. So first you're going to need 2 pounds of ground beef. You can also use ground turkey. It's going to be healthier. But so the ground beef doesn't stick in the pan, I'm going to be using avocado and sunflower oil. You can use any type of oil, canola oil, long as you use something so the ground beef doesn't stick in the pan. And to make the cheese filling, I'm going to be using ricotta cheese, mozzarella cheese. I'm also going to use some mozzarella cheese for the top of the lasagna. 1 egg, salt, and pepper. And then to season the ground beef, I'm going to be using accent, seasoned salt, paprika, natural seasonings. And also in the cheese mixture, you're supposed to use parsley, but since I don't have any parsley today, I'm just going to be using some basil and oregano in the ricotta mixture. And I have like 2 cans of sauce to put in the ground beef. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of onions. We'll cut some onions up and add some onions to the ground beef. So, further ado, let's get started.
So now that you have all your ingredients gathered, you want to start off by putting your pan on 7. Just to start off for now, we're going to turn it down later, but put it on 7, and then you're going to put your oil in. Like I said, you can use any type of oil. It doesn't really matter. You just don't want this meat to stick to this pan because you don't want to burn it. So you're just going to get a little swirl around the pan. Make sure it's evenly coated. It's in the pan, nice and good, okay? And then I'm just going to take the ground beef, the thawed ground beef, and I'm just going to add it to the pan. And make sure you use something to put the ground beef in the pan. Do not be like me, because there's been plenty of times where I've just put the ground beef in the pan without using a spatula, and it has popped and all the oil has went everywhere. So don't be like me and just make sure you put it in there easily. So now that we have that first step done, we're going to go ahead and move into our second step, which is seasoning our ground beef, because I don't know about you, but we don't do bland food over here. And if you want to know why I use these seasonings and why I like them so much, I would recommend you to go check out my first video, which was on how to make ribs, if you want to see why. But for this recipe, I just use accent, some seasoned salt, paprika, pepper, and about 2 teaspoons of salt. And if you want to know the exact measurements of seasonings that you should use, I'll link the recipe in the description. And as you can see, I also use some natural seasoning to season the ground beef. So now that you added all your seasonings, you want to just take your spatula and just chop the meat up into medium squares. You're going to chop it up more finely later on, but just to make sure it cooks evenly starting off, you just want to put it into medium squares. See how the ground beef is sticking to the pan? You don't want that, so don't be afraid to add more oil anytime you see it sticking to the pan. Now on to step 3, I just finely chopped 1/4 of the onion, and I added to the ground beef about 4 to 5 minutes before the ground beef was finished cooking. Now we're going to move on to making our ricotta cheese filling. First, you're going to start off by adding your 15-ounce of ricotta cheese into your bowl. And then I added 1 egg, about 5 shakes of pepper, oregano, basil, and I also added 2 teaspoons of salt. And finally, I added about 3 handfuls of mozzarella cheese. You're going to stir that up, and that's your ricotta cheese filling. So now that the meat is finished cooking, I just drained it. And now we're going to be adding the spaghetti sauce to our meat. First, I started off with 1 can. And after I stirred it, it looked like there was enough sauce. So I just ended up adding the second can to it. And it's up to you whether you want more meat or sauce. And to really scratch it, I use a little bit of water. So that's just a quick tip that if you really want to get all the sauce out of the can, just put a little water in that and it'll come right out. You see that sizzle right there? That's what you want it to look like, because after you finish putting the spaghetti sauce in there, you want to turn your pan on high and let it boil for about 3 to 4 minutes to mainly just heat the sauce up. Now that we have everything ready, let's get into building this lasagna. So first you're going to need is your spaghetti sauce. Then you're going to need your lasagna noodles. You don't need to cook them. Your ricotta, make sure that you mixed up, and mozzarella cheese to go in between the layers and on top. I know I just said that you don't need to cook your noodles, but after making this, I realized I could have maybe put them in some boiling water for about 2 minutes just to make them a little bit soft but not completely cooked. So that's one tip that you can change about this. And also after making this, I realized that I could have put a little bit more ricotta mixture, or if I had more ricotta mixture, I would have put more in there because it could have been a little thicker. So I'll also maybe get, instead of getting 15 ounces of ricotta cheese, I'll probably get like the next ounce up, or 20 ounces or whatever. So yeah, I would do that too. And I just make sure I filled the pan up, make sure there was no like spots missing, just fill the bottom of the pan. You don't want a thick layer, but just enough to fill it up where you don't see any of the pan. And then I went ahead and put the noodles on top of it. I was struggling a little bit with the whole symmetry and stuff, but I broke it off and it fit. So just do that, and I put the ricotta cheese on top. I was barely scraping by, I didn't have enough, but like I said, I would want some more ricotta. Make sure that's a tip to know next time. And yeah, I just kept doing the layer, and I did it twice. Yes, I was being extra right here trying to get everything out the pan, but you know, it was too good to waste. So I had to make sure. So now that I finished laying the top of the lasagna with mozzarella cheese, I'm going to be putting some aluminum foil on it. Then I'll put it in the oven for 45 minutes to bake. Then after the 45 minutes, I'm going to take it out the oven, remove the aluminum foil, and put it back into the oven for 15 minutes. And you'll be done. You'll have a whole meal. I know you see how good that looks, and it's not even finished. Just wait. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Also, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post my next video, because I have some really good content for y'all. So stay tuned for that and have a blessed day.